Hello everybody. I'm making this video so that you guys, program staff here at Camp Allendale, can know some of the common problems with our 98 Tippmanns and how to fix them, and also how to do general cleaning and maintenance. The first thing I want to cover, I've already unscrewed this, but the first thing I want to cover before I open it up is some possible air leaks. If you add a CO2 tank here, there are a couple spots that you may hear a leak. It may happen where the tank meets this ring. If so, I want to take it out and make sure that the tank has a proper O-ring. Those O-rings can go bad, and if they're bad, it'll leak. We'll need to replace them. The second spot that it could leak is right here where the hose meets the adapter. This hose, the entire length of it, both sides, neither side has an O-ring, and so it is a metal-to-metal fitting, and it needs to be perfectly clean. So if it's leaking, it means that this is either not threaded correctly, or it means that it's dirty. In order to clean it, you're going to take a wrench, you're going to unscrew it, and scrub both this adapter and this thread where they meet up with rubbing alcohol and a toothbrush. You want to get those spots nice and clean and sterile, and then rethread it, and it should work. The same is true for this part right here. This is a very common leak. And again, no O-ring. It's a metal-to-metal adaptation in here. And so these both need to be perfectly clean. If you've taken it apart, you may hear a leak, and you'll want to open that up, clean it out, and then make sure that's nice and snug. The final leak happens inside of here, and it usually means that a part needs to be replaced, but we'll take a look at that in a minute. So I've already unscrewed all these. I'm going to go ahead and open it up so that you can see what's going on in here. And this is the inside of our Tippmann 98s. Right off the bat, I want to point out some very common problems that are very easy to fix. One of your programming staff at some point may have disassembled a gun and attempted to clean it. That means taking all the parts out, wiping everything down, making sure it's well oiled. You can see at the back of this, we have some gunk buildup there, so that'll need to be cleaned. One of your program staff probably attempted to do this, and someone at some point may have taken this little rubber stopper and flipped it that way and thought, well, I think it goes that way. If you do this, the gun stops working. It's one of the most common problems, and it's also one of the easiest to fix. I'm going to undo these springs just to make the example easier. It stops working because when the barrel racks back, it catches when it goes forward, and suddenly it can't go forward all the way. You see that stopping motion there? If it is pointed toward the barrel, it can just get pushed down by the barrel, and everything works perfectly. So, very common problem, but that's okay because it's also very easy to fix. Some common parts, another common problem is this right here, part of your trigger system has either busted or just moved. This spring can pop out, and then when this is racked back, this no longer engages. It causes a whole problem. So just know that the correct way that it goes together is that the trigger sits, there's a spring here on this part of the trigger, and there's a spring here. There's 3 springs that should all be properly engaged. If you heard a leak in here, like I was mentioning earlier, it means that this plastic piece is broken, or more accurately, the metal piece inside of it. If that's the case, you should take this spring out, completely disassembled till it's just this part. And I would actually take the metal part out from inside, clean it off with some oil and some rubbing alcohol, make sure it's nice and clean, and reassemble it to see if this part still works. Because sometimes a little bit of paint, a little bit of dirt gets in, and suddenly it just gums everything up. I'm trying to think. Those are most of the common problems. If you have a problem of the gun multi-firing, where it'll fire and then immediately re-engage, that is usually caused by a paint buildup somewhere in this trigger mechanism. The easiest way to fix that is actually to keep the gun completely assembled, rack this all the way back, and dump an entire bottle of water into this port. You would hold the gun pointed down, rack it back, and dump a bottle of water down there, and then give it a few shots. That water, 9 times out of 10, will work its way into this trigger mechanism and clean everything up. And it's a lot easier than disassembling and manually cleaning. To clean this gun, you're going to take this part, this backer out, take the spring out and the rubber O-ring. Take the trigger apart. I just lost the spring, which is very common, so I'm going to have to bend down and find it. But take all the parts out, and I'm going to wipe down everything. I'm going to coat everything with a thin layer of oil. If It's still in stock if you guys still have it. It'll probably be something like this, Premium Tango Lube. But we're going to wipe everything down with a microfiber cloth. We're going to oil everything up, and we're going to reassemble the way we found it, or the correct way. That covers 9 problems out of 10. If there is another problem, I will have a few more videos in a playlist of some videos that helped me. But that's pretty much all we got as far as paintball repair. I do have a CO2 tank with me, and I just wanted to show the O-ring. Getting frame there. There we go. So this O-ring there, like I said, it can sometimes leak from the tank. That's caused from that O-ring going bad. Come on, focus. It's caused from that O-ring going bad. And we have a bag somewhere, and they're all bright red. Just pop the old one off, pop a new one on, make sure it's all cleaned up. But yeah, that's how to fix our paintball guns. So have fun shooting, kids. Have fun running bazooka ball, and have a great time at Camp Allendale. Thank you for the service you're doing. You are making the kingdom crowded, and I'm so blessed. Thank you so much. Bye.